Welcome on in, FG fam, to another episode of the Colorado Rockies Franchise here on MLB the Show 22. Today, we have the offseason episode as we are heading into year number 2, but first we got to retool this team. And it's going to start with this coaching staff. Bud Black is our manager, and he's got a contact and power deficit. So we're going to go ahead and fire him. We don't want that lame duck coach over here. Ron Gideon, we're going to clean house, and Ben Fowler all gone off the team. We have a clean slate for our coaches. So what are we going to do? Edgar Azzopardi is going to be our selection for manager. Hopefully he'll sign. Diego Telshaw is a guy that we will overpay to bring in as our hitting coach. And John Salazar looks to be a pretty good pitching coach for us. After that, we have Rene Rasmussen we'd like for first base coach. We have Alberto Rogers for third base coach and Lucas Vioto as our farm director. We'll see if we can bring those guys in. We only have 3 free agents, and the only one we don't want back is Ryan Zimmerman. Vioto accepts the offer for farm director. John Salazar is our new pitching coach. These are 4-year contracts, so plenty of time with these guys. Alberto Rogers takes his third base coach job with us, and Diego Telshaw, fine with being our hitting coach. You love to see it. And Edgar Azzopardi has accepted our 4-year contract to be the manager of this team. However, Rene Rasmussen decides to go to the Marlins? So we'll go after Brady Herzog for just 1 year. We want to bring him in. He has -2 fielding, so I don't really want to give him a long-term deal. Now, there are plenty of free agents that we could go after this season. You all know what happens after year number 1 if you play franchise. Tons of guys out there. Edwin Diaz, Aroldis Chapman, Wilson Contreras at catcher, Max Muncy, Jesus Aguilar, Adam Frazier, Trey Turner, and Tim Anderson at shortstop. Trey Turner's a guy I'm very interested in, but I think he will stay with the Dodgers. That might not stop us from going after him. Joey Gallo, JD Martinez. Now, with so many great players out there, there's sure to be some that get undervalued, but Aaron Judge is the big fish, and nobody putting an offer on him early, so we're going to go ahead and try to get him for $20 million a year. I don't think it's going to be possible, but hey, we're the Rockies. We don't have as much money as other teams, and we're not exactly a contender at the moment, even though we had a pretty overachieving season. I'd like to bring in Chris Bassett and Edwin Diaz, and then maybe if we can get JD Martinez. But Edwin Diaz, not interested in our contract. That's not going to stop us from giving him a different one, though. Spencer Howard was one of our tender contracts, and he didn't want to stay either, but we gave him another contract offer, and Aaron Nola decides to go to the Cubs on a big contract. Brady Herzog does accept our 1-year deal as the first base coach, so he'll probably be gone next year, and we'll look to hire a new one for 3 years next year. Wilson Contreras is the first big signing going to the Tigers, and then Edwin Diaz does accept our second offer, which was for a little more money. We're going to get him for 2 years at $14.25 million per year. He went 0-6 last year, but record means nothing. He had a decent ERA. Noah Syndergaard will be flipping teams a second time as he goes to the Minnesota Twins on this one. He had a good year last year. Gallo couldn't hit a lick last year, so he's only going to get $12.1 million a year with the Reds. Taylor Rogers gonna be a Padre for the next few years, and Aaron Judge gets an 8-year deal at $29.2 a year with the Angels, so he's gonna go play with Trout. Pittsburgh has claimed Ryan Rollison off of our waivers. We had a lot of guys on the 40-man that I wanted to take off the 40-man, and unfortunately they end up going to some other teams. Ryan Vlad is going to Oakland, so there we go. We wish them the best of luck. Going to a couple of bad teams. We'll see what happens. Oakland also claimed 21-year-old shortstop Ezequiel Tovar off of our waivers as well. Mike Clevenger is going to be a Toronto Blue Jay, 86 overall, 17-7 last year with a 2.37 ERA. He's going to get 3 years at $21.5 per. Trey Turner making $21.8 per for 9 years to be an Atlanta Brave. Going to be tough to beat those Braves for the next couple of years. We are now putting an offer on Tim Anderson and we'll see if we can bring him in. That might be our big signing of the offseason if we can get him. Josh Bell, of course, we offered a re-signing contract, and we do get Tim Anderson. Praise be to God. We have a $13.5 million a year contract over 5 years. I think that's very team-friendly, to be honest with you. Anthony Rendon gets flipped straight up for Kyle Schwarber. Angels-Phillies doing a little deal here. And then the Braves acquire Nick Castellanos from the Phillies for Ozuna, Justin Dean, and Kyle Wright. Very interesting. Steven Strasburg getting dumped by the Nationals for John King and Elroy Flutie. I don't know if that's the best deal ever. And then we had this possible trade for Bobby Witt and this possible trade for Jose Ramirez. I decided not to pull the trigger on those. Didn't think they were super realistic, and ultimately, I had other things in mind. Max Muncy ends up signing with the Astros, and Chris Bassett, we lose him to the Dodgers. That's a big loss for us. I was really looking to bring him in, and the Dodgers stole him from us. We go to the Rule 5 draft, where we have like the 15th pick in that draft. Dom Nunez, our old catcher, ends up going to the Marlins in the Rule 5 draft, which I'm completely fine with. But if you look through the Rule 5 draft here, Kirby Yates, who spent his year in AAA last year, is available. And, I don't think we can pass that up. Bringing in Kirby Yates, getting another solid guy in the bullpen, even if he is 36 years old and we have to keep him up, I don't think that's a problem for us to keep him up in the majors for a year. That guy will definitely help our bullpen out and give us some flexibility. Now, looking at the Dodgers, they also acquired Gene Segura from the Phillies. Phillies are making a lot of weird trades here, and that's just another one of them. J.D. Martinez does sign 2 years, $7 million per. Very team-friendly deal for J.D. Martinez for us. Then we get an arbitration hearing. Cole Sulzer wins his arbitration. He'll be making $1 million this year. I guess that's kind of worth it, right? Eliezer Hernandez is going to be making 2.3 as he wins his arbitration as well, which is pretty worth it for a fifth starter. And then Sam Hilliard making 1.6 mil for the amount of bombs he can hit. I think that's pretty worth it as well. So I'm happy with that arbitration hearing as well. Still a bunch more to go, including Jose Alvarado, who's going to make $2.3 million. Now, he has the potential to be a very good reliever, so that's cool. Kyle Freeland making 7.8 is a little much, in my opinion. I didn't think he pitched well enough to warrant that amount of money. We'll see what happens. Brendan Rodgers, $1.8 million is totally worth it for a guy who plays as many positions as he does on our team. And, he's an up-and-coming player, so that helps for us. Alex Reyes making $3.3 million. Now, he is the only A potential guy we have in our bullpen. But, man, $3.3 million is a lot for a team who is negative in budget, so we're going to have to make some cap-dumping trades. And we're going to start with Cole Sulzer and Randall Grichuk. That's $11.4 million worth for Anthony Volpe. Now, some of you may not think this is a very realistic trade, but the Yankees are constantly giving away prospects for established players, plus screw the Yankees, right? Then we have Charlie Blackmon, and I love Charlie, but $18 million for Charlie is just not going to do it for us right now. Brennan Davis is an up-and-coming center fielder. He is 23 years old already, so the Cubs were willing to part with him. Then the Braves willing to part with William Contreras for Josh Bell and Casey Golden. Screw the Braves. They've already made some great signings this offseason. Then the Mets giving up Pete Alonso. They're obviously not going to want to pay him, and we're giving them a couple of players that they can use to start. 2 starters for 1 starter, I guess, on their team. Ahmed Rosario going back to the Mets in full circle style in that one. Erman Marquez, Austin Gomber, Antonio Senzatella, Kyle Freeland, and Eliezer Hernandez remains our pitching rotation because we couldn't, unfortunately, bring in anybody that I wanted to bring in. But we do bring in Brad Boxberger, Trevor May, and Kirby Yates, as well as Edwin Diaz for the bullpen. So the bullpen gets exponentially better, in my opinion. Tim Anderson becomes our new leadoff hitter. J.D. Martinez and Pete Alonso get into the middle of an order that already includes Sam Hilliard, Ryan McMahon, and Chris Bryant. William Contreras joins the team. We have Rogers still there as a young up-and-coming player, and Zach Veen will finally get some playing time in the majors. So hopefully you guys are really excited about that. For those of you that are wondering how I get players to perform at a higher level and possibly train my players up, for those of you that don't know this little trick, if you're looking at hitters from a hitter standpoint, you really only want to give them batting cages or weight room. You want to give them batting cages until they have around 55 to 60 contact from both sides, and then you give them a little bit of weight room so they can build their power up. For pitchers, you always want pitching coach session because that's going to give you walks and hits per 9 as well as strikeouts per 9, which is going to be the main determining factors when you're simming a lot of games like we do here. We're taking a look at our depth chart just to kind of see how this team is projected to progress as we go on through this series. And you can see that that team is looking pretty darn good next season and the year after that. But we do have some contracts coming up with Rogers and Gomber. That's not going to be good in 2025 and 2026 with Hilliard and Senzatella. But we do need to bring in a couple of pitching prospects. 2027 looks completely different. We'll see what happens. Homer Clink. We're taking a look now at your players that have gone to other teams so you can finally see their ratings. He is in the Orioles organization. Everett Bradford with the Red Sox, 72 overall, B potential. Like I said, a lot of the channel members like Clink and some other guys that you'll see, such as Derek Watson, have been bumped up in their overall rating just to kind of reflect their channel membership and give them a little bit of a better player if they didn't already have one. Sean Soto, 53 overall, B potential. All of you guys are going to be at least a B. I tried to give you guys the guys with the best potential. I really didn't bump potentials. I did bump some overalls for some of the channel members, and that's really about it. Like, there is TNJ. Getting a 68 overall A potential prospect on the Tampa Bay Rays. That guy is going to be a struggle to deal with in the future. Robert Wright at a 49 overall with some B potential. And again, like we've said in some previous episodes, if you guys do get the secret word or phrase of the day and put it in the comment section, I have been giving points out. So if you guys would like to use your points, if you've been keeping track of how many points you have, I will likely flash the points with each player as we go along here, how many points you guys actually have. So definitely pay attention to that if you would like to upgrade your player anywhere. If you want to use your points, remember, if you had 50 points, you need two of those to get a plus 10. So if you get 100 points, I will give you guys plus 10 in your ratings. So keep showing up to the videos early. Keep supporting the series the best way that you can as we go through all these players. Quiznell. There's a couple of guys at the end of this row that you will see have changed some teams recently from the draft, and there's some storylines to go with that. There's Lee Bowen. Look at the shades on Lee Bowen, man. 50 overall B potential, but he is 18 years old, so he's got plenty of time. Vinny Dubman, also in that Mets organization, at a 55 overall, but A potential, and he did get boosted a little bit. You can see the arrow next to him because channel member. Same for Kaz Benjamin. Those were guys that were in the 40s. And I tried to give them guys that, could get brought along a little bit quicker. Ramon Morales, 67 overall, A potential. Also, when it comes to channel members, they get a special Discord as well. So they got to be the exact position that they wanted. A lot of you guys didn't really get to choose that too much. Nick Apple has a 68 overall B potential, 19-year-old. Carl Paxton's an A potential, but he's a 50, but he is 19 years old coming out of Germany. I did try to fix everything the way that you guys kind of submitted it. There's going to be a lot less each year now because that video was very long to make. I will probably be taking 5 high school, 5 college, and 5 international prospects every year from now on. That's 15 total. So you guys are definitely going to have a chance to get yourself in here if you haven't already. This is definitely going to be the time to submit your prospects, so make sure you check out the description below for the template. Submit them here so that when we get to that draft episode, you guys will get featured. This is your chance now. I'll be taking submissions from now until I start making that draft episode. which you probably have a good week or so to watch this video and get those in. So if you're watching this, 3 to 4 days after it comes out, that's fine. Go ahead and put your guy in the description below. If you're watching it anytime after that, we've probably already gotten the video done. So just letting you guys know that. Neville Newcastle's a hell of a player, and you guys saw that in the recruitment episode. Rigoberto Ramirez Jr., also another really, really good player, closing pitcher for the Reds. Had to bump him up, not only because he's a channel member, but because he's a GOAT in the Northern Michigan series. If you haven't seen him in that, make sure you check out NMU Dynasty. It'll be in the end card at the end of this video. Ben Parker is a dog as well, and he's going to be in our division. He's going to be tough to deal with. Another guy in our division, Coco Titcomb. I am not looking forward to dealing with this titty man. He is going to be way too good. Jay Hunter, that is one of the players, did not get signed by his original team, so the Colorado Rockies went ahead and signed him in free agency. He'll be in our minor leagues. Michael McHugh in that Bowie Bay Sox AAA Orioles team, so we'll see what he's able to do. It might be AA. I'm not really super versed on AA, AAA. Miles Burrow will be in our Hartford Yard Goat organization because he was another one that his original team didn't feel like signing. 22-year-old B potential. I don't know why you wouldn't sign the man, but they didn't. We have a brand new season upon us, and it begins with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We actually get a home opening day game, so that will start off our next episode. You guys know how it works. Now, I will be taking suggestions for games you guys would like to see on our schedule, games you would like to see featured, maybe series you would like to see featured, so make sure you put those in the comments section below as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing your players. Big opening day coming up. Shout out to Kaz Cray Gaming, Rigoberto Ramirez, Raider Bear Comics, Christian Horn, Derek Vance, Teakling24, TNJ, Jeffrey Kendrick, David Morslander, and VDub Productions for being channel members. If you want to be a channel member, click the join button below. Make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like on the video. Check out the links in the description to the Twitch and the Discord. Come hang out with us and have a lot of fun. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time.